law enforcement agency of a federal, state, county, city, township, agency present. This is also for notary, poll workers, school board members, anyone who has signed an oath to the de facto government. Please raise your hand, state your name, and state your position. I'm not smelling that shit again. Okay, this is also for notary, poll workers, school board members, anyone who has signed an oath to the de facto government. Please raise your hand, state your name, and state your position. Second time, this meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner to eliminate all conflict and false allegations. Is there anyone in attendance at tonight's meeting that is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency of a federal, state, county, city, township, agency present? This is also for notary, poll workers, school board members, anyone who has signed an oath to the de facto government. Please raise your hands, say your name, and state your position. One last time. It's not so loud here anymore. This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner to eliminate all conflict and false allegations. Is there anyone in attendance at tonight's meeting that is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency of a federal, state, county, city, province, township, agency present? This is also for notary, poll workers, school board members, anyone who has signed an oath to the de facto government. Please raise your hand, state your name, and say your position. Take it away, Glenn.
Okay, so you can hear me, I take it? Good. First of all, this is a new program that we come across. We're going to just go over this really, really quick. I'm going to leave a link if someone wants to take advantage of this. I'll leave a link in the chat. So it's in there. Anyways, so this is there's a guy that he's a professor at Oxford, and he developed a bot to play arbitrage. Okay, arbitrage is basically there's hundreds of markets all over the world that this is cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in particular, and this is futures. So, but there's a bot that can take advantage of if you have a price difference. I mean, there's a lot of exchanges around the world, and all you need is a price difference. Say you sell it for $10 on one exchange, and you buy it back for $9.99 on another exchange. When there's millions of dollars involved, you just made a heck of a pile of money, and that's essentially what they do. Now, so what you do, it's really, really simple. They give you a code twice a day, and you just put the code in here and click confirm, and that's it. That's all you have to do. And I'll show you what. Well, here, let me show you my. I started off with. There it is. $2,000 3 days ago, and so I've got $2,250 right now. And you have to leave it in there till it doubles, and then, well, you can take it out before it doubles, but there's a penalty. If you leave it in there until it doubles, then after you leave it after it doubles, then there's no penalty. So let's go back to the historical. These are transactions that I did. I did this one today. The top one I did today, I made $14.19, and there's two of them I did today. One I made $14, and the other one I made $13. So think about it. I have $2,200. I started out with $2,000, and I just made $27 in one day. And every day it's like that, as long as they have a certain time of the day when they execute these transactions, and you have to be watching for the code. There's a code they put out. It's on BondChat, which is a secure messaging app. And so you have to sign up for, and I sent you a link to sign up for this DSJ exchange. That exchange is located in Colorado. So this is licensed. The company is licensed by the Securities SEC, and so all of these companies are fully licensed, and some of the ones that we did in the past, they weren't licensed at all, and they got in trouble. And so this is fully licensed, and so and I think that the reason that they can do what they're doing is because you're actually executing. Everyone on their own is executing the transaction. You're using their bot, but that's it. And so these are I've done how many? Like there's 2, 4, 5 there, and there's 2 more. So in 3 days I did 7. So I think there's more than that. Oh yeah, there is.
No digital ID attached.
No, but if you want to get your money out, there's going to be KYC requirements. You got to plan on that. But I don't think they want a social security number or anything like that. They just want to see that are you who you say you are? In other words, hold a government issued ID next to your face, and they see that the ID has a name on it and the face is the same as your face. I think that's all they have to do. But I don't know. I haven't taken any money out yet, so I can't say for sure. But anyways, so as far as you have to do a minimum of 500, and when you put in 500, and it's Tether, you do it in Tether, US dollar Tether, and when you do $500, then you get 2 signals. They're called signals every day. And so then, but you have to be the one to watch for them and execute them. And there's people that they also pay you bonuses for bringing other people in, and that kind of thing. So if you know a lot of people and that might be interested in this, they'll pay you bonuses. You get extra signals is what you get. But there's also other bonuses that they pay too. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll upload to the chat another file called BG Wealth. BG Wealth Sharing. Okay, so I'm uploading that right now. And that's basically their literature where they talk about what they do and how they do it and all that stuff. So you have to sign up for Bond Chat. Bond Chat is a secured messaging app like Wire, um, that you can get with the Google Play Store. And if when you get that signed up, and you sign up for the DSJ exchange, then let me know and I'll tell you how to get in touch. You have to get in touch with a couple people on that Bond Chat app, and then you have to send some money there to the exchange and have it ready to start transactions when they. And then what they'll do is they'll say that they'll give you some instructions on what to do and everything. So, anyways, just that's all I'm going to talk about with this particular issue right now. But this is an opportunity. I know that Lori put some money into exceedingly, and that hasn't worked out so well. So I'm willing to replace that money and put it into Bond Chat if she wants to make the balance for 500. I'll send. I think. Let me look. She had.
Can you pay for it in Tether?
Sorry.
Can you pay for it with Tether?
What do you mean pay forward into Tether?
Can you pay for the subscription with a Tether, with Tether currency? I mean,
Well, yeah,
Tether
that's what you have
crypto.
to use. That's what you have to use. So Lori put in after, like, she sent me a gift card and she wanted and this ebook, and she was going to get a phone and decided not to get the phone. So she had $248.07 that was available, that was owing to her. And so I will put that in if she wants to put in the balance for 500. Then yeah, you have to buy Tether, and you can do that in a variety of ways. You contact me privately if you need some way of doing that. I mean, I can buy the Tether if necessary, and if you want to send me the money. What I would suggest is you could wire me the money, and then I'll buy the Tether with it. And I've already got the Tether, quite frankly, on Coinbase. But I would suggest you set up a wallet, and actually, there's Bitcoin ATMs around. I would suggest you go and do a Google search for a Bitcoin ATM in your location, and you can find some and set it up, and then send it to a Bitcoin wallet that you put on your phone, and that kind of thing, and that'll give you some good experience on how to do that.
Yeah, I did that with Exodus.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 So make sure and get your seed price off that wallet, though. Did you get your seed price off that wallet?
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Good. Write that down and put it in a safe place.
Screenshot. Yeah, yeah. All that stuff is secure. I know about the importance of all that now.
Okay. Good.
Had to live and learn it, though, right?
Well, once you have that seed praise, anybody, if they get a hold of that seed praise, they can get that wallet and steal it from you. But if you have that seed praise and you drop your phone in a bucket of water, then you just go buy another phone and use that seed praise, and you can restore your wallet, and it's no problem. So that seed praise is everything to your wallet. Anyways, I would suggest, if you want to do it, let me know. Okay. And so this is the set up Bond Chat, and once you get Bond Chat set up, I'll tell you how to. You got to do a couple things once you get it set up, and how to get in touch with the powers that be as far as this program is concerned. And okay, let me just look on YouTube. Yep, it's on YouTube. Good. So next is we're going to talk about Todd Duel. He put up. Let me see if I can. I gotta set this up with Telegram.
Yeah, give us the insight on why they took took him to jail for 4 hours.
Well, I didn't watch the whole program, but he uploaded. He held a Zoom meeting. I'm trying to get a hold of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm trying to get a hold of it so then I'll have it all. But he did upload. I was on the Zoom meeting long enough to see that he had uploaded several documents, and he uploaded them, and that's what we have right here in front of us is one of the documents. And so I'm just going to make it bigger. Arrest and Investigation Survival Guide. This is one that he made. So we'll go through this, and then we'll go through a document that I filed on somebody's behalf. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know what the results are yet, and I left that area, and I'm now in Nevada. Excuse me. So I can't really. I'm not hearing anything about what happened as a result. Excuse me. I just want to make sure.
It's dry in those casinos, eh, Glenn?
Sorry?
They're pumping oxygen into those casinos. You know that, eh, Glenn?
Well, maybe I am, eh? That's interesting. I ought to send him a bill. But this is a very interesting document he gave, and I took a bunch of this document out and put it into a bill of particulars for someone. I figured we'd go through this, and maybe we'll go through the bill of particulars and kind of take it from there. So this is an arrest and investigation. Matter of fact, let me upload this to the Telegram page. That way you guys will have it. So introduction, act like a boss, not like a legally incompetent minor. Okay, that's what they're doing is they're presuming that you're the minor. Okay, so they either already have or are trying to induce you to admit to a commercial crime under 27 CFR 7211, commercial crimes defined. An excise tax disguised as a penal code or revised statute violation, which will allow them to open a bid performance payment bond against your estate in res, your legal fiction, to charge you in rem, you the living man or woman, so they can embezzle funds from you as incidental beneficiaries committing defalcation in violation of 26 USC 7206, 676, and 18 USC 153. Because even they concealed the accounting and securities to defraud you of a remedy through the accounting. They charged your estate. Your job is to order the discharge. Surviving a police arrest and investigation is quite simple when you understand your private rights, constitutional, commercial, and right to due process remedy through the accounting. The investigator is not a first-hand witness, and they did not investigate the fraud perpetrated against you. Therefore, they are doing a voluntary administrative process to gather information from you. Remember, their job is to serve and protect the public. and to lie, threaten, intimidate, and coerce you, the living man or woman, into voluntarily giving them information that they don't have. You are not public. You are a private citizen, and anything you can or say will be used against you. And actually, that should be changed. Anything you say can or will be used against you. And it should be and. Can and will be used against you. In an Article 1 Administrative Court of Law for contracts and fictions of law. They do not have jurisdiction over a living man or woman unless there is a common law crime or you admit to them giving them jurisdiction over you by your tacit acquiescence. They only have jurisdiction over your corporate legal fiction estate because of the birth certificate, banknote bond, and the Social Security number, which was issued to make a future labor interest deposit into your minor account. Jurisdiction over you, once challenged, has to be proven by the moving party, the prosecutor. Okay? The burden's on them to prove jurisdiction. That's absolutely true. Question: is the charge against you the legal fiction / minor, or is it against you, the living man or woman? Did you look at how your name was spelled on the charges? Yes, they're trying to trick you into being the surety and guarantor for the charges against the legal fiction estate. Of course, there is no case law that supports this legal theory because they're never going to admit this in open court, or the entire fraudulent administrative court system will fail. Definition of a person, 26 U.S.C. 7701A1. The term person shall be construed to mean and include an individual, trust, estate, partnership, association, company, or corporation. And 31 CFR 363.6, minor and minor account. Minor means an individual under the age of 18 years. The term minor is also used to refer to an individual who's attained the age of 18 years but has not yet taken control of the securities in his or her minor account. Minor account means an account that a custodian controls on behalf of a minor that is linked to the custodian's primary account. Public defined. Ballantyne's Law Dictionary, 3rd edition. The vast multitude, which includes the ignorant, the unthinking, and the credulous, who, in making purchases, do not stop to analyze, but are governed by appearance and general impressions. And that's J.W. Collins Company versus F.M. Pace Company. It's a federal court case. Invoking your rights, their first job is to read your Fourth Amendment Miranda rights. Immediately invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Shut up again, shut up some more. Any questions they ask you, keep reiterating their Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I never talk to police. They may ask you to sign a waiver document. Refuse to sign anything. You have no idea what they're going to use that for. Actually, I don't refuse to sign anything. I just print without prejudice. Making any statements or signing forms may grant them jurisdiction over you as a living man or woman. I put there without prejudice, and now based on this, I'm going to start putting without recourse. They will likely ask you if you have any questions for them. The answer is absolutely you have questions for them. Now is your opportunity to investigate them on the record, as this will be recorded by them as evidence that you can subpoena as discovery to impeach them at trial, if it even gets that far when the prosecutor hears the recording. So these are the questions, and this is stuff I put into that bill of attainder. Not the bill of attainder, into that bill of particulars. And we'll go over that bill of particulars here in a minute. So let me just do something here. So, what person is allegedly being charged under 26 USC 7701A1? Is it the individual minor account under 31 CFR 363.6 or the living woman or man? Are you trying to trick me into being surety for the corporate fiction at law and granting you both in res and in rem jurisdiction? Do you have a properly executed oath under 5 USC section 3331 through 3333 and 7311? Please place a copy of your oath in the evidence folder. I went and put these questions into that bill of particulars, and I filed a notice of intervention. I'll show you what I filed. Anyways, do you have a surety bond or risk management policy to cover you for crimes under color of law? Please place a copy of the policy in the evidence folder. By your oath and mandated by law, please answer what is the Sixth Amendment nature of the accusation. I'm not concerned about the cause at this time. I need to know the nature of the accusation. I will remind you that nature legally is not the same as the cause. You're mandated by law to answer that question. By your oath, mandated by law, please answer under Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution, which of the two criminal law form jurisdictions is the accusation being made under? Is the accusation being made under common law or colorable vice admiralty? In other words, statutory. You're mandated by law to answer that question. Where is the power of attorney or agency agreement with Social Security Form SSA-89 to access and use my Social Security number? Please place a copy of every power of attorney, power of trustee, and agency agreement to manage legal title for my estate into the evidence folder. Is there a UCC-1 lien or any other lien filed against my estate in res or against me in rem? Please place all liens into the evidence folder. Please acquire IRS 1099A and C instructions. Circle page 3, who must file. Matter of fact, I think I'll just go ahead and open that one up, because you might find this interesting. So let me share this. This is the instructions for IRS Form 1099A, 1099C. This is what he's pointing out. So the question is it goes to part 5, right? Who must file? 1099C. Who must file? A court or court administrative office. Any instrumentality in the judicial or legislative branch of government. So that's who has to file a 1099C. 1099A, 1099C.
So could a legislative branch be an attorney? Or, I'm sorry, a liar?
A liar? Well, they are liars by definition. There we go. So this is, I wanted to make sure this was going through onto YouTube. Good. So this is the instructions for the IRS 1099A and 1099C. And so have that. And this points it out, but have this with you so that you can point it out to the cops. Who's supposed to fill this form out? The court is. And when is a debt canceled? And that's part of the questions that are going to be brought up in this. So let's go back. Right, back to this Word file. Okay, we're back at the Word file now. So please acquire IRS 1099A and see instructions, circle page 3, who must file, and page 4, when it's a debt canceled, and place it into the evidence file. Who's required to file IRS Form 1099A according to Section 5? Are you attempting to open a bond by aggravated identity theft of my tax records in violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 1028A, to conceal the accounting and securities, to defraud me in violation of 26 U.S.C. 7206, to extort money from me in violation of 18 U.S.C. 912, and embezzle from my estate in violation of 18 U.S.C. 153. Does the clerk of the court have a properly executed oath under 5 U.S.C. Section 3331 to 3333 and 7311? If no, or you're not sure, why have you not investigated the clerk of the court, who is concealing the accounting and securities in violation of 26 U.S.C. 7206 and embezzling from my estate in violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 153? If no, or you're not sure, why are you not investigating the clerk of the court for criminal activity? Does the clerk of the court have bonding and underwriting and securities license for creating forged bid performance and payment bonds using my tax records in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1028A, 26 U.S.C. 7206, SEC Rule 10B-5, 18 U.S.C. 472, and 475? If no, or you're not sure, why are you not investigating the clerk of the court? Does the prosecuting attorney and judge have a properly executed Form SF-61 appointment affidavit? And are they registered under the Foreign Agent Registration Act, 22 U.S.C. 611 through 613G? If no, or you're not sure, why are you not investigating the prosecutor and judge who are embezzling from my estate in violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 153? Is there a first-hand witness complaint filed under pains and penalties of perjury, 28 U.S.C. 1746-2, with fact evidence and not merely by a belief? If yes, please produce the complaint and the fact evidence for my review and place it in your evidence folder. If no, you are concealing evidence from me. Or no, if no, are you concealing evidence from me? So you're fucking... You're getting them thinking about some shit. I'm telling you. Are you concealing it? So you're asking them the question. Has the person filing the complaint presented any fact evidence of being physically injured in any way? If yes, please place the fact evidence in your evidence folder. If no, is their claim merely a regulatory infraction, legislative jurisdiction, penal code, or revised statute violation? Which code or statute is the allegation being made under? What is the accounting remedy for the code or statute violation? If you don't know, are you legally incompetent? If the court filed a 1099A, to acquire my secured property, claiming I abandon it. Is the remedy not to file a corrected 1099-A to fix their fraudulent filing, and then a 1099-C to cancel and discharge it? The audit the clerk of the court through the IRS CID in U.S. tax court. If you are a witness and investigator, would you not be the relator petitioner to file a qui tam criminal complaint on behalf of the United States? Is there a warrant? If yes, please produce the wet egg signature warrant for my review, as well as the IRS 1099-A CUSIP bid performance and payment bond, placing it into your evidence folder. If no, then this is kidnapping and false arrest, and I've been damaged in violation of Travaza versus City of Tampa, which affords me statutory penalties of $25,000 per 23 minutes, and I demand to be immediately released from custody. Is there a court case filed? If yes, please produce the IRS 1099-A CUSIP bid performance payment bond, place it into your evidence folder. As a witness to the crime of aggravated identity theft by tax records in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1028, I'm instructing you to revoke and revest the court case, trust securities under 26 U.S.C. 671 to 677 for equitable subrogation for set-off, settlement, discharge, recoupment, and closure of all accounts, or you are liable for accounting fraud and concealment in violation of 26 U.S.C. Section 7201 to 7206, and embezzlement in violation of 18 U.S.C. 912, 18 U.S.C. 153, tax evasion in violation of 18 U.S.C. 371, 26 U.S.C. 10108, I-4B, and securities fraud in violation of SEC Rule 10b-5 and 18 U.S.C. subsections 472 and 475. Is there an IRS 1099-A? If there is a court case, there must be an IRS 1099-A. Please produce it and place it in your evidence file, or you are willfully violating fraud and false statements and concealment in violation of 26 U.S.C. 7206, which is a felony. Is there a CUSIP? If there's a court case, there must be a CUSIP. Please produce it and place it into your evidence file, or you are willfully violating fraud and false statements and concealment in violation of 26 U.S.C. 7206, which is a felony. Is there a bid performance payment bond? If there is a court case, there must be a bond. Please produce it and place it in your evidence file, or you are violating fraud and false statements, concealment in violation of 26 U.S.C. 7206, and securities fraud, SEC Rule 10b-5, 18 U.S.C. subsections 472 to 475, which is a felony. Do you have a Social Security number, and does your agency have an IRS assigned EIN number? If yes, please explain how the administrative law of the Internal Revenue Service does not apply to you to file and pay taxes when I'm ordering all securities to be revoked and revested under 26 U.S.C. 676, and you have willfully concealed the accounting and securities to defraud me in violation of 26 U.S.C. 7206 and embezzled from my estate in violation of 18 U.S.C. 912 and 18 U.S.C. 153. Remember, this interview is being recorded, and you can use this information to impeach the law enforcement officer on the stand for conspiracy to aid and abet aggravated identity theft of your tax records, embezzlement, and tax evasion by all of the above crimes being perpetrated against you, the living man or woman, under color of law. Autographing bail bonds. Remember, the bail bond is you are paying a percentage of the bail bond to fund a security instrument as an appearance bond for the court. The entire amount of the security is pulled from your minor estate, 31 CFR 363.6, based on the amount of the bail set by the court. That's called the penalty sum, or the penal code, which they conceal the accounting from you in violation of 26 U.S.C. 7201 to 7206 to defraud you of an accounting remedy. They're doing an administrative process to acquire your Social Security number to extend your credit for the security. This is aggravated identity theft of your tax records in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1028A. It will also have a QSIP assigned to it. Make sure to autograph it under UCC subsection 1-308 and 3-415. And that's where 1-308 is without prejudice and 3-415 is without recourse. So I always put, matter of fact, I don't put anything else. I just put without prejudice and now I'll start putting without recourse. So you're not personally liable to pay or perform on the instrument. Make sure to autograph it 26 USC 7201 to 7206, 671 to 677, UCC 3-305, 306, 18 USC 153 to revoke and revest the security for equitable subrogation to set off, settle, discharge, recoupment, and close all accounts. If the bail bond is not revoked and revested, they can be held criminally liable for embezzlement. 18 USC 153, and tax evasion, 18 USC 371, 26 USC 108 I4B. Remember, the IRS says you are the grantor, bailor, owner, and beneficiary, 26 USC 676, of the entire commercial process. The state's job is to trick you into being the trustee and allowing them to be the incidental beneficiary, committing defalcation by your ignorance, and then agree to go to jail or prison by your voluntary consent. So these are all the codes that he mentions. Internal Revenue Manual 25.1.1.3, definition of fraud. Fraud is deception by misrepresentation of material facts or silence when good faith requires expression, which results in material damage to one who relies on it or has the right to rely on it. Simply stated, it's obtaining something of value for someone else through deceit. Tax fraud is often defined as an intentional wrongdoing on the part of a taxpayer with the special purpose of evading a tax known or believed to be owing. Tax fraud requires both a tax due and owing and fraudulent intent. And so they're engaged in tax evasion. Think about it. See also Internal Revenue Manual 9.1.3, criminal statutory provisions of common law, attempt to evade or defeat tax, fraud and false statements, and concealment, 26 USC 7201 and 7206. See also minimum contact. Minimum contacts. This is I'm not sure where that's taken from. Looks like a law dictionary. A doctrine referring to minimum due process required for subjecting a non-resident civil defendant to a court's personal jurisdiction. The defendant must have sufficient contacts with the forum state such that maintenance of the suit does not offend traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. Insurance International Shoe Company versus State of Washington, that's U.S. Supreme Court. It exists when a defendant takes purposeful and affirmative action, the effect of which is to cause business activity foreseeable by the defendant in the forum state. That's Mississippi Interstate EXP Inc. versus Transpo Inc. Seeing doing business, see also doing business long arm statutes. So anyways, so that's the one document I just uploaded. Now let's look at what I did is I filed a notice of intervention.
Sounds like embezzlement to me.
Well, apart from the tax evasion, I reckon it's avoidance, because I reckon it's a 501, 508, 50 something. I reckon it's avoidance.
I didn't get that.
The fact that they never sent us a 1099-A form, it proves the embezzlement, because they took no action in the first place. Avoidance would be somehow misrepresenting the amount of the taxable event. The fact that we don't get a tax form from any of these accounts that we have is proof they're embezzling.
Yeah, they're keeping it a secret.
Misrepresentation sounds a bit stronger.
Yeah, and this would apply anywhere, U.S., Canada, Australia, anywhere where the IRS has jurisdiction.
Or the IMF.
Yeah, the IMF.
Misrepresentation is the mother of all frauds.
I was thinking that, because if they're supposed to have one and not the other, they can't have two effects. And they both got two effects. And you cannot have two effects of the law. Like, there can't be two effects of the police. And that's why there's a doctrine of double effect.
So this is a notice of intervention that I filed. This is the Word file.
For your friend's case,
I
or
filed
for
it, into a friend's case. Yep. So it's basically says, notice is hereby provided that I'm intervening on behalf of Republic of Texas National, April Rose Shopple Lauritsen. And that's all I filed. But notice here, under the signature, GlennWinningham, House of Fern, fails to be dead or lost at sea, has never been dead or lost at sea, fails to be a surety for the Pope's minor estate, fails to be representing the Pope's minor estate. I'm putting that on all of my documents now, and I put it in the certificate of service, and I sent it to Phil Sorrells. And again, fails to be dead or lost at sea, has never been dead or lost at sea, fails to be a surety for the Pope's minor estate, fails to be representing the Pope's minor estate. Maybe I'll upload that to the group.
Cheers.
I like how you brought it into international law as well, Glenn. Very clever.
With that arrest and investigation notice, those questions that you wrote, would it be a good idea to put a negative averment in with that?
Not really, I don't think, because so those are questions. That's questions you ask them. He's talking about that. That's stuff you ask them when they're interviewing you. Okay, and so I wouldn't worry about a negative averment. Matter of fact, I would. You're going on the attack. There's no need for a negative averment, I don't think, because you're going on the attack. You're telling them that you guys are.
If you stay like this, Dan, whatever they said against you, you require them to substantiate the facts.
Yeah, right.
Anything they do say, would that be an attack without being an attack? Well, who's got the claim as a burden of proof will substantiate it. Each and everything separated.
Exactly, they have the burden of proof.
But it's a well-oiled machine that they have to streamline, right? So that's where the railroading and train wrecks happen.
Thing is, they're all corporations and have to follow their own policies. And if their own policies are breach of the law, that's got a double effect. It cannot be repugnant to the law. Nothing can. So maybe each one of these contracts could be unconscionable, leading to extinctum, maybe. Or any blame assumed against you or presumed against you can be rectified by just doing it the proper way, on the proper format. If that ain't adequate cause, well, take it up, like Glenn said, take it up to internationalise. Because it even says you can there, in law, he showed you.
Well, it's actually what happens is the IRS, we all know how they operate, and it's contract matter. It's definitely international law, and the IRS will go in there. Matter of fact, it's tax evasion, and those IRS agents get paid a commission on what the taxes they collect. And so if they went and issued a bond for like $1 billion, like I've seen a bond that was issued against a guy that's in jail, and before he went to trial, and it was like 2.8 billion. And so, and they're supposed to have paid 26% tax. So that IRS agent, when you go and put in a form 211, that's a whistleblower's form. Those IRS agents will be all over that like a wet blanket because they get a piece of that. If they collect it, they find out that's out there, then the shit will hit the fan, you know. So I think it's, I think it's brilliant, quite frankly, because the IRS is motivated to get all over that stuff because they get a piece of the action. Anyways, this is a bill of particulars that I filed into that case along with the notice of intervention. And so, basically, I put the same questions in. These are the same questions that I put in right here. These are all that's taken directly from that form. The only question that I didn't put in there is the one about I revoke and revest, because I don't have authority to revoke and revest. I need to call up to get April to send a letter to the district attorney and tell the district attorney that that she revokes and revests all securities involved in that matter. That's all it has to say, and so then that paragraph would fall into place. And that'll put them, then you can prove embezzlement and tax evasion. She needs to put it in writing, send it to the district attorney, and tell them that she revokes and revests all of those securities. And that's all she needs to say. So the paragraph that I left out is what's now paragraph 16. Let me right.
Created a bill of particulars out of that questionnaire.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, exactly. And so the only thing I didn't put in there was this paragraph 16 right here, because I can't revoke and tell them to revoke and revest it. It's got to be the person that it's got to be April that's got to do it. You see what I'm saying?
Wouldn't you say that you have firsthand actual knowledge that it is her intent and purpose to revoke and revest the trust, perhaps?
I could, maybe, I don't know. I didn't want to push it, and I wanted to get this thing done, and I filed it before I left. And so, but I need to get her to send them a notice, send them a letter, the district attorney, and tell them that she's revoking and revesting all securities issued in that matter. I got to write that down because I talked to her today and I forgot to mention it to her.
Okay, Glenn, I have a question too.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if there were others listed on the same case file, would you be able to speak for them as well in that case?
Well, you can't. I can't. I am going in as an intervener. Okay, I'm a third party, and so I can make all those other allegations, but I cannot order them that you're revoking. I cannot say on her behalf. I could say that I talked to her, but I hadn't at the time. But I could say that I talked to her and she wants it revoked and revested. I could have if I had talked to her, but I haven't even talked to her yet.
Right. What if it was a family member, though?
How close of a family member?
Living in the same residence.
Again, I would get their permission first, because you're going after some lawyers, and you're going after them in such a way that they're going to wind up in jail, and they're going to fucking do everything they can to get out of that. Let me tell you.
Correct yourself. So you got to correct yourself.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're covered. So, you know what I mean? I would definitely, you got to make sure you're covered, because you're going after lawyers, the district attorney, and you want to make sure you're covered, because, they can do things you have no idea. I mean, they can retaliate in ways that you just can't imagine, and you don't want to imagine. You see what I'm saying?
That's why they say revenge is best served cold.
Revenge?
Yeah, it's best served cold.
Yeah,
It means have all your ducks in a row, and when you go after them for keeps.
Absolutely. Best served cold. I like that.
Just on that wording, Glenn, was it did you say the word mention revokes and revests all securities in that mention in the matter? It mentions anyway, close enough.
This is paragraph 16. Okay, I can put it in the chat if you want, but this paragraph 16, I cut that whole paragraph out, and so, but everything else is in there almost word for word. So it says here, let me make sure you guys are seeing that. Oh yeah, you are. And make sure it's showing up on, yes, it is. Good. So is there a court case? If yes, produce a 1099-A, CUSIP bond, performance bond, payment bond, place it in the evidence folder. Okay, it says that and other paragraphs too. So that's not that critical. As a witness to the crime of aggravated identity theft of my tax records, you cannot say you're a witness of my tax records. They're not your tax records. In violation of 18 U.S.C. 1028A, I'm instructing you to revoke and revest the court case trust securities under 26 U.S.C. 671 to 677. You cannot say that they're your tax records. There may be a crime. Right now, there's some allegations. You see what I'm saying? But you cannot. You got to be careful about this, because they're very powerful people, and they can break it off in your ass in ways that you might not like. And so the best thing to do, in my opinion, is caution, and the best part of valor is make sure you got your ducks in a row. Revenge, serve it cold. Anyways, so I took that whole paragraph out. It does say in other paragraphs, is there a court case? If yes, produce the IRS 1099-A. Yeah, it says it in paragraph 17 too. And they're willfully engaged in fraud, but it talks about revoke and revest in this case. And I just took that whole paragraph out.
I got a question for you too. Would you not put in a mandatory judicial notice as well and demand a hearing on this subject matter?
No, because there's you don't want it to go into court. You want it to go to the IRS. Okay, this is actually completely administrative. There's no court that's going to deal with this. You'll never get a court. These are all administrative courts. And so I wouldn't, you want to drag that fucking judge before the IRS. You want the IRS to be looking his ass up and putting his ass in jail for felonies. Okay. And so, no, I would not. There's no judges involved in this case. There's no judge that's involved at all, period. This is administrative. It's contract issues. When you get into what they view to be contracts, then you don't have constitutional rights. This is all stuff that's under codes. And so there's no talk about constitutional rights in here. This is all administrative. And you got to understand that. You got to watch that video. When that guy comes out.
I'm not saying, I do understand that, but I'm just thinking, I'm thinking that a mandatory judicial notice means they can't ignore it. They don't have discretion to ignore it.
Well, this is designed as you're being interviewed by the cops, okay? And so, but I turned it into a bill of particulars, and so it's basically a heads up, is the way I intended it, or the way I think they're going to take it. That it's a heads up. They have an opportunity. So what I think they're going to probably do is offer her a plea bargain. And I told her that if they do, to make sure and sign it without prejudice and without recourse. And I told Darren to tell her that, and because this is an opportunity for them to get out of it without having a whole shitload of stuff go down. But a lot of times these people are really stupid, and I have a feeling these ones are, and so we're going to have to elevate it. But I'm not going to be able to do anything till I get back to Texas. I want to get my lawsuit served, okay? That's the reason I did this. Another reason I did it like I did, because right now they know there's a lawsuit, but I want to get it served on them so then they know that the shit is going to hit the fan as far as I'm concerned. And now I'm intervening on her as a Republic of Texas national, and so they're going to be in hot water up to their eyeballs, and so for this and for other stuff, so war crimes. I'm accusing them of that lawsuit, and I got to serve it on them. I'm arguing over the filing fee, quite frankly, and so I might have to break down. I tried to pay the filing fee with Rice, and the clerk said the filing fee hadn't been paid yet. So I'm thinking that maybe I didn't serve it on the right people or at the right location. I'm thinking that I'm debating about how I'm going to handle that. I'd rather not do the filing fee, but I might have to. Giving them Rice is perfect. but anyways, I definitely don't want to give them Federal Reserve notes.
Rice is twice as nice.
There you go. Anyways, I think we've been going on long enough about this, but we're going to talk about next week. We'll talk about the other documents that he uploaded, that he made available, that you'll find them interesting. So this is not the end of this discussion as far as this Todd duel and his material. He's got some brilliant material. And so we're going to talk more about that next week. But I think we're going to, if anybody's got any more questions, then otherwise we're going to be done here for this week.
Would you like to see 3 other forms? Todd had one of them, one form, IRS form dealing with these types of cases. I have the other 2 that go along with it under inadvertent executors. Anyone having actual constructive possession of state property are inadvertent executors, and there's 3 forms that go along with that inadvertent executor, what they're required to do. If you want to see them real quick.
That might be something that we'll be talking about another time.
Well, I'd like to see them.
Well, you guys can talk about them after we're done here if you want. I mean, I don't really care.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we'll probably do that because that's what we do here at We Are Law. So I know you're in Vegas and probably wanting to get out and see some shows or, I don't know, enjoy yourself while you're out in the different state anyway, right?
Are these docs to be posted in your room, Glenn?
Sorry?
Were these docs that we've seen posted in your room?
Let me just look. Yes, they were all shared. They're all in the room. I uploaded them tonight. The notice of intervention, the bill of particulars, and the arrest survival guide, arrest and investigation survival guide. That's Todd Dool's document, and we'll be talking about more of those next week.
Awesome. Okay, so is April incarcerated right now? Is that why
Yes,
you're not hearing
it
about
really
it?
makes my blood boil. She doesn't need to be in there, and she's probably going to wind up being over there over Christmas.
Well, that's unfortunate. Did this just recently happen, or?
She's been in there a couple of weeks now.
Okay.
Invoke the magistrate to see the affidavit of complaint signed by the damaged party giving rise to the warrant.
Well, that's I brought all that up in that bill of particulars, and Todd brings it up in the arrest and investigation survival guide, and so they know what's coming. I'm going to start doing some stuff, but I want to get my lawsuit filed so that they don't think they can attack me. It's not. I don't want to get it filed. I want to get it served. I want to serve it on them so that they know that their shit is hitting the fan.
Well, I hope the best for April, and I hope that it works for her right away.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm hoping that my motivation, what I'm thinking is they'll offer her a plea bargain. But I hope she calls me back. She wanted to call me back, and I told her, please do. And I just made a note about what I got to talk to her about. And I know that other people have been talking to her about this stuff too. And so, but I got to make sure and cover this. She needs to tell them or make a document and that she revokes and revests all securities involved in that case. That's all it needs to say. Right here in paragraph, I'm instructing you to revoke and revest the court case trust securities under 26 USC 671 to 677, and she needs to say that. And matter of fact, I need to write that down.
Can you give us a little bit of backstory, or is it personal?
Sorry?
Can you tell us what the charge was?
She was living with a guy that happened to be a cop, and she went home, and he charged her with burglary, and it was her. She lived there.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is a piece of shit. He is a piece of shit.
That's too good of a word, guys. Come on, let me think of better than that. It sounds like a demon to me.
Yeah. Don't get me going. Anyways.
Okay, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna. I'll hear from you during the week about that new. I don't want to call it a Ponzi scheme, but I want to hear that you get paid.
This one is a lot more credible because they're fully licensed and they're telling everybody
in the States.
Huh?
Are they credited in the States?
Yeah, I could show you.
Okay.
I can show you their. Matter of fact, let me find the. I can upload. Let me find it. I was looking for when I started. I was looking for they went and put up a SEC certificate that showed that they were approved. The exchange was a Colorado. It's their certificate from the Securities and Exchange Commission. And let me find it. I gotta go look through all these damn chats. And he puts out this stuff every time he does a event because it's a matter of disclosure. You know, he's gotta do that, let people know, and so that it's you know, it's just a good idea to do that stuff to so people don't you know, there it's disclosure. I love disclosure, and so he's real good about that, and making sure that people know you know what's going on. He's really big about that, and I think it's brilliant.
Oh, we're talking about Todd.
No, we're talking about that investment program now with the futures.
Yeah, I think the percentage that you're making in just a matter of what days is pretty phenomenal.
Let me we went and did a video.
You put the link for that in the chat, right?
Well, the video I didn't. It's a YouTube video, but it's private. But I can put it in the chat. It's my YouTube video. I went and we did a video, and I uploaded it to YouTube, but I made it unlisted, which means that unless you have a link, you can't see it.
And what's this video on?
This program, the
Wow.
the PG Wealth sharing program. I put the BG Wealth brochure in the chat already, but let me see if I can find. I have a video that I did.
Well, I like that they work with Tether because that's the most well known.
Yeah, it's all cryptocurrencies. Okay, that's a video that's private. It's my video on YouTube, and so it's just my private video. I don't mind if you use it to share it with other people that might be interested, but it's a private video. It's a meeting we had in Texas.
Oh, I see. Okay. So there won't be anyone selling it or making anything funds from it. We can assure you of that.
Well,
We know about confidentiality here.
there'll be YouTube will put some advertisements, so they always do that stuff.
Well, I appreciate that. And same time, same place, same channel. There we go. I got it.
There's another one I can do. It's a screenshot. It's actually an image of when they do the This is an image of when they do the signals.
That's your account, right?
No, that's everybody. That's when they do the signals for everybody. I don't necessarily get all those signals. The only two that I get all the time consistently, that anybody gets all the time consistently, are at 1 Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern. 1 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern. Those are the only ones that everybody gets all the time. There's other ones that are, if you read it, you got to read it, and it'll tell you, which ones are regular. If you sign up a lot of people, there's a third permanent signal that you can get, that you'll get every time by signing up a lot of people. And then other than that, you get just occasional extra signals, and you'll see when they come, though. It tells you when they always come.
Okay, well, I'll be investigating that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, enjoy Vegas. Go see a show for me.
Yeah, I've been here. I used to live in St. George, Utah, which is about 100 miles from here, and people would come down and visit me, and I'd take them to Vegas. And so I used to fly out of Vegas going to work. Back in the 80s. I had a job. I was working as a tech rep. I was all over the world, and I'd fly out of Vegas. And so I used to do that too, but I know all about the stuff that goes on here. I'm not particularly interested. Somebody, April actually told me to go to the buffet, have a buffet, and so I might do that. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm just helping someone move, and they need help moving, and so I'm helping them move. They're moving. They got a great place. It's like 50 miles outside, out in the country, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous place. I'll tell you. It's just
I
goes
heard
on.
real estate. Yeah, real estate in Vegas is really affordable, and you get a lot for your money.
Well, if you're in Vegas proper, it's expensive, but you get out in the country, and there's some screaming deals.
I have a cousin that's one of the head security guys. I don't know what that means or anything. In the Sands Hotel there, or that big casino.
Oh, yeah.
His name's Victor. So if you're by there and you run into one of their security guys, ask for Victor and tell him Lori says hi.
He's your cousin,
he
eh?
owes me a fishing trip. What's that?
He owes you a fishing trip, eh?
He does, yeah. He does. The last time we went out, he hooked his finger with the fishing hook 20 minutes after we got out there, like a mile out. So we couldn't get the hook out of his thumb, so we had to go back to dock, drive him to the emergency to get his fish hook out of his hand, and he'll remember that story very well.
Okay. Well, I'll at the Sands. Eh? I used to go, there's all these casinos down there on the strip, and I used to go down there. I used to take people touring down there on all those casinos, but it's been a long time since I've done that stuff, and it's just a tourist trap, anyways. And the buffets aren't as good as they used to be. They used to have great buffets. But they don't do that stuff too much anymore. Oh, here it is.
How long are you going to be there? Are you going to stay down there for New Year's or something? Or?
I don't know. Okay, this is the SEC certificate for the DSJ exchange.
Oh yeah, send that to me here.
It's on my group.
Okay, good. Alrighty. Thank you for sharing everything. Appreciate you.
Yeah, well, it's a networking thing. I mean, sometimes you know what I would suggest, and what I'm planning on doing is you keep your money in there. There's people that have made a lot of money. There's a lady. Well, watch that video. You'll see that video. They talk about some people that did really well, and so you know, as with anything, you know, there's never any guarantees, and so what with what I did and with exceedingly and in smart lab is I took out from it way more than I put into it, and then now it's having problems, and so I'm ahead of the game. I'm okay. You know what I mean? And what I would suggest is make your investments, um, do your trading, execute your signals, and when you get an opportunity, lick some ice cream, take some money out, make sure you get your investment out, and after that, you're on the house's money anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And so just you know, that's the way I would look at it. Is once I got my investment out, it's all house's money, and it don't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, in July, it would have been good to see that exceedingly payout. Let's put it that way.
I know. I got my money out, you know, back in February. Actually, I got my initial investment out, and I was hoping that it would have paid out. And it's still not. It's not over. You never know what's going to happen with that. And so I wouldn't completely lose hope in that. It's not over.
It's on the books, right? It's on the books.
Well, he's in jail right now, and so it's hard for him to do much from there, you know. But the what I'm hearing is that he had it squirreled away, and they didn't get access to it, and so he had some money that was people supposed to, you know, what they did basically is, excuse me, they sabotaged the business so that he couldn't pay out, and then they got the people that he didn't pay to come and testify against him, and so I mean that's like an impossible situation, anyways. But so it ain't over, you know. That's all I can say. And so he according to him, according to what I heard, is he had the money he was going to pay, but they went and they seized a bunch of it, and you know, it's the same stuff that this Todd Duel talks about. They're just nothing but a bunch of thieves. You know, don't get me going. Anyways, I got to let you go. We'll talk next week, same time, same place, same channel.
Okay, sounds good. Don't be late.
All right. Take care. See ya.
Gratitude.
You too. Ciao now.